To the Helix webinar series. Today's session is actually an Ask the Expert sessions. We've done this some months back and it was very successful, and are feeling with so many changes and things going on with Helix Dashboards and also migrations from smart reporting. We felt it was relevant to have a session with our audience again and attendees. So it gives you the option to ask us questions live. So let me just start with an introduction of myself first, and then we'll go through the team. My name is Samantha Hudson dos Santos Figueira. I work as a program manager in BMC. So I see many faces that have joined the webinars. Most of the work that I do is out to the customers and partners with webinars around product areas and also some enablement. And obviously these Ask the Expert sessions fit quite nicely in there, giving you the opportunity to connect to some of our experts and specialists. So I'm now going to hand over to Nikhil to do his introduction.
Thank you, Sam. Good morning, good afternoon to all our participants from wherever you're joining. I'm Nikhil Deshpande. I am a product manager for BMC Helix Dashboards, and I'm excited to be here to attend this session, facilitate your transition into Helix Dashboards, whether you are transitioning from smart reporting to dashboards or some other solution into dashboards. We are committed to your success in adopting dashboards. So this is one of several workshops and webinars we do to enable you to understand more about dashboards and share as much information as we possibly can about making you successful with it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nikhil. And over to Ajinka.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Good morning. So my name is Ajinkya. I'm from Helix Dashboard team. I'm working as a senior product developer in the Helix Dashboard. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Ipti.
Hi, my name is Sam. I'm a DevOps engineer at BMC. I'm with the SRE team, and I mainly work with creating SRE dashboards for internal requests in our company, whether it be finance, whether it be support people, and many other teams, trying to ensure their work goes through seamlessly and easier than anticipated. Yes.
Thank you, Ipti. Samit.
Hey, thanks, Samantha. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sumit Kulkarni. I'm working with BMC support team as a subject matter expert. And thanks everyone.
Thank you. And Tarun?
Hello, everyone. I'm Tarun Pandey. I am a senior product developer with BMC, primarily working for Helix Dashboard and helping customers to adapt Helix Dashboard easily and effectively. Thank you.
And then finally, Vikram.
Hey, hello, everyone. I'm Vikram Kamte. I'm product development manager for Helix Dashboards. Excited to be here. I want to hear from you so that we can include it in our product. Thank you.
Wonderful. And that's our team today. So thank you everyone for your introductions. I think we'll get started, Nikhil, on some of the questions that we got come through. And I know we kind of correlated a couple of questions that have come up from our workshops and other events and webinars that we've done. So I know one of the questions I've actually seen frequently myself when we have questions live as well would be around what makes Helix Dashboards the right reporting solution. And I think that's a really nice segue to start off this Ask the Expert session. And prior to answering that question, just a reminder for those, we do have the Q&A section to put your questions in. When we do get to those, we would like you to speak with us live, or you can raise your hand and we'll come to you and answer those questions as well. So please make this interactive. You'll get the best out of this session today. And we will be sharing all the questions that come from today and the recording as well. So Nikhil, if I can ask you to answer that question first, perfectly for a product manager.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Sam. When you look at analytics or reports, dashboards, it's not just about pulling data out of ITSM or any specific product. Increasingly, we are seeing that our customers' requirements span not just ITSM, but across a wide range of PMC products that they use across IT service management, IT operations management. And our customers need one tool, our customers require one tool to be able to report across this entire range of BMC products. There's only one tool in our portfolio, which is BMC Helix Dashboards. With dashboards, our customers can develop dashboards across service management and operations management solutions, which is a part of BMC's service ops strategy, which is about making the most of your investments in service management and IT operations management. Service ops is about bringing ITOM and ITSM together. And with dashboards, you'll be able to correlate what's going on in service management with what's going on in operations management. There's no other tool that can help you achieve this vision, the vision of being able to get insights into one domain based on the actions that take place in the other domain. And that's why Helix Dashboards is the most appropriate solution to be able to get insights across your entire investment in BMC Helix.
Very nicely put. And if anyone has any questions around this, feel free to come off mute, ask Nikhil. So another question I see support get, because I have actually looked at all the different type of support questions that come in through our support tool. When should customers use the report conversion tool versus reporting Meta Studio? I know that's a common question, and maybe that's something, Sumit, working in support, you could answer.
Yep, sure, Samantha. Okay, so the report conversion tool is ideal for migrating existing smart reporting reports into your BMC Helix dashboard. Whereas the reporting metadata studio, which is commonly based on the Pentaho metadata editor, is for creating your customized views where we can add the required fields, calculations, and the join conditions at the view level itself. Yep.
Thank you, Sumit. So if anyone has any questions on that, feel free to come off mute. So I also saw actually Vikram, we did have a question while we were Nikhil was talking. There was a question around, are joins possible via the form or only in SQL mode? Do you want to just talk that through? I know you answered it. I'm not sure who asked it because it's an anonymous attendee, but it might be useful for the rest of the attendees. Do you want to just go through that?
Sam, can you repeat the question, please?
So there was a question in the actual Q&A, the live Q&A, saying, are joins possible via the form or only in SQL mode? And I can see that Vikram had answered that live. So I don't know, Vikram, if you just want to talk through your response.
Yeah, sure. Yes. So yeah, SQL or form, we can join multiple forms to get data. But Visual Query Builder, VQB we refer, there you will find out-of-box views. So views are built using multiple forms and their joins. So user need not to worry about how to join forms if they are using Visual Query Builder. You just drag and drop, and you should be able to get data from one or more forms. And VQB will do the job by adding the joins between the form.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can get data from multiple forms with the joins from VQB as well.
Thank you. And actually, I can see Shaiju, I think it was your question. Apologies if I haven't pronounced your name correctly, but
No
do you
problem.
want to ask your additional question to Vikram? I can see you've replied.
Yes, Vikram, on top of that, like, can I make sure like the RBAC, role-based access control, it's applicable on these new views created? Because these views are created in dashboard, through dashboard, right? So how would I ensure that the role-based access I have implemented on the core forms, whether it is incident or change, is brought onto these views?
Yeah, this is very good question. So we don't design RBAC or data access or data authorization in the Helix dashboard. Helix dashboard inherit the RBAC coming from the source system. So whatever you permissions you give in the form on the ITSM side, dashboard enforce same. So it will be intact and it will honor the same permission model, same authorization that you have defined in the uh, remedy or ITSM side.
Okay.
Does that
Because I
answer
have
your question?
probably yes, but I have seen it a bit different because it is applicable for out of the box forms as we noted. But the ones where we use these kind of row views, external views, which joins other forms, we have seen that the RBAC was broken. Something for technical support, I think, if that is the case.
Yeah, definitely we would like to check that, but I'm sure it is very well tested and
Okay.
designed. So if you have defined these, Nikhil, can you mute, please? Sorry, I was getting echo.
Yeah, no problem.
So if you have defined these permissions on the ITSM side, it will honor same. And basically VQB or views is only providing you query, and it does not have any permission model included in it. So while fetching the data, it is a different layer while connecting to the dashboards to the ITSM side. There is a different layer that enforce or ensure the RBAC is implemented or honored, that is defined in the ITSM. So if you are seeing any different behavior, please reach out and we should be able to check that. But
Cheers,
as designed, there should not be any issue. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, Vikram.
Thank you.
Thank you for your additional question. If you come up with any others, then feel free to raise your hand again. Okay, so we have another
Sure,
question. Thank you. We have another question in the Q&A. It's how can I cross-verify if Helix Dashboards is part of my bundle, as this is not seen by my admin? Nikhil, who would be best placed for that question?
Ajinkya, can you?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, Helix Dashboard is actually an AD Helix application, and it is a common service available for all. So it is not part of ITSM bundle, but it's a part of ADE, like Helix application, right? So if you have a URL or login for Helix portal, you can log into Helix portal and there you can see Helix dashboard type. And you can click on that and it will launch the Helix dashboard. Does that answer your question?
If whoever asked that question, because it's hasn't got a name next to it, if you can just reply back, that would be great. Thank you. Or come off mute. Okay, thanks for the response. And then we've got a hand raised.
May I add to what
Please do.
Ajinkya just said? Yes. So dashboards is shipped along with all BMC Helix solutions. So all of these solutions that you see on my slide that I'm sharing, all products on the service management side and all on the operations management side. If you have at least
Nikhil,
one of,
can I just stop you? We can't see your screen, just seeing the PowerPoint presentation. I don't think it was sharing your application. I'll let you know when I can see it. I did wonder why the screen changed. If you want to just try it again.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. You were in good flow there.
Can you see it now?
Nothing's come up. Yeah, you need to press the share. I know sometimes applications take a while to load up. Something's happening, which is good. Hang on. I can just, yeah, perfect. And if you can close down the chat Q&A so then we can see the full screen.
Yep.
You've disappeared again. I don't know if you're having problems. I know. Technology at its finest. So if you close down the Q&A of Zoom, as in when I say
Okay.
close down, yeah, minimize, and then take your screen back again, the middle one I think you were sharing, the application.
Now
Yes,
can you?
perfect. Yes,
Okay.
it's perfect.
So these are all the products for which BMC Helix Dashboards is accessible. If you own any of these products, at least one of these, you will have dashboards. So pretty much everything on the service management side, ITSM, business workflows, DWP, or operations management, any of these products, all you have to do is once you log into your instance, to your Helix instance, go to portal. And from portal, you will see tiles for every application that you have access to. You should see a tile for BMC Helix dashboards. Okay. And if you don't, then please submit a support case. Support will be happy to assist you on it.
Whoever asked that question, if you can just confirm that answered it. Thank you for the response. Okay. Angela, I can see you've got your hand raised, and I also saw that you've got your question into the Q&A as well. I don't know if you want to come off mute and ask it live, or I can read it out for you, but I think it'd be lovely to hear from you. Can you hear us?
I think one of my teammates actually put that question in on my behalf, and because I registered and they didn't, so
Okay.
I'm not sure who did that, but yeah, I didn't. If you could probably read out the question, that'd be great. Thank you.
The question is, does BMC publish a public Helix dashboard roadmap for customers to view and understand the next Helix dashboard upgrade schedule or future upgrade schedule? We are interested in understanding when customers in Australia could expect Grafana version 11 to be deployed as part of our Helix dashboard. I kind of know the answer to that, Nikhil, but as a product manager, I think I'll let you know if you can explain about the roadmaps and just answer the bit around Grafana version 11.
Sure. So we don't publish a roadmap, but we do present a roadmap regularly in some of these workshops. Within BMC Helix dashboards, we routinely upgrade Grafana to a recent version. The most recent upgrade was in Dashboards 24.3, and we upgraded to Grafana 10.4. The next upgrade to Grafana 11 is not yet planned, but we do at least one upgrade in a year. So I cannot tell you a specific release when we'll do it, but we'll certainly, we keep pace with Grafana so that we aren't too far behind. But let me ask you, is there anything specific you're looking for in Grafana 11?
Yes, sorry. Thank you. I was actually on behalf of Angela, we're sharing the account because I hadn't registered, so apologies for the confusion.
That's okay.
We do have a number of challenges here at in our organization that version 11 will solve. Three main ones are text wrapping. I believe also a PDF view of tables expanded correctly. And there's one other one which I forget now, but version 11 actually solves according to the material provided on the Grafana website. Those will solve those key problems, challenges that we have. And so keen to understand when Grafana 11 will be deployed as part of the future upgrades. Thank you.
Yeah. And one thing to note is that BMC Helix Dashboards is not just Grafana. On top of what Grafana provides out of the box, we do provide customizations on top of Grafana. So formatting improvements for exporting to PDF, Excel, all of these things we have done and we continue to do that. You'll see a number of improvements to dashboards when you export them to PDF. We have done a few in the past release, and you'll see a few more improvements in the next release, 24.4.
Thank you.
I'll probably just add to that question, because I'm using 24.3, and I can confirm we have text wrapping, and the exported PDF are also being exported with the text wrapping. So maybe you can do a demo there with the table, but it's
scheduled PDF or
scheduled PDF, correct? Yeah.
Actually, we've been testing it fairly recently and it hasn't worked.
Yeah,
so we might have to go back
that
and do it
was
again.
correct. Yeah. Which is go back to my question: is these upgrades weren't seem to be documented somewhere in the release notes? Is there a detailed release notes that you publish? But I think Nick Shill already answered it. You don't publish your detailed release notes or roadmaps.
So the roadmaps and release notes are different. Roadmap is future looking. Roadmap isn't published anywhere. Usually, roadmaps are presented in some sessions, but we don't publish roadmaps anywhere. Release notes are supposed to be detailed, and if you have specific questions about what details you're not seeing, please raise a support case, and we'll make sure it's routed to the right team amongst us to respond to it. But the purpose of release notes is for you to be able to understand completely what's included in the release. If you're not finding enough details, please give us specific feedback and we'll certainly address it.
I got a question if no one's going to ask, and sorry, Angela, for taking over your account again. One of the things we struggled with is this was an infrastructure monitoring tool. That's its legacy, that's history, that's where it's come from. It was CPU is 90% this second. Hard disk is nearly full. It was never meant to be an ITSM reporting suite that covered months and years. And so we've had to reverse engineer a lot of our reports from the instant time to time blocks. And we provide a lot of reports to executives. So it's pretty important we control the layout and the naming of things, like November 2023, December 2023. The timeline view will not give you that level of control. So we've had to reverse engineer it in things like column graphs or bar charts. So we get the nice layout, we get the view that the executive can look at. One of the things we noticed was, if I ask for the number of major incidents in October 2023 for the next 6 months, and there is no major incidents in December, I don't get a 0 on the graph. It just leaves December off. Log to tech support case, tech said as designed. Local tech team who support us in here at Monash University basically said we don't have any experience as designed. It seems we should have some better examples out there, like the Grafana community. Hey, if you're looking to do a 12-month bar chart, here's something you need to know. You're going to miss out a month, and here's a workaround for how to not miss out that month when it returns 0 from the database. Be interested to know off the top of your heads how you might solve this.
Yep.
Because I solved it, but it took me 3 weeks.
Okay, I'll take this. This is really good question. I'm happy to see those detailed question, or you are playing with the tool so in depth. So this one we recently upgraded, that is Grafana upgraded graph to time series data. And as you mentioned, yes, it is initially a design for monitoring, but we are enhancing to cater all these requirements from the ITSM and other reporting capabilities in this. So to the specific question you asked, how do we present 12 months report with a bar chart? If there is a missing data for a month, it should highlight or show 0 value or no value there. I think this can be achieved using time series, and there is option to continuous time markers there. Maybe we'll.
Yep. I know I've solved it using the time series, but it's not presentable to an exec because I can't control the date format. It says 024 or 1224, or just not what the exec are looking to put in front of their boss. They want it like they had it. So bar charts, I can control the naming convention of the date.
Okay, I got it. Yes, we'll check. So you need fine control on the legion values, the formats. I understand. Yes, we'll check this definitely. Yeah. So in time series, yeah, we might need to add that capability. Or either we can add this capability in the bar chart so that it should be showing the all continuous months or the date series there. Yeah.
Could be a lovely feature to have rather than my hack workaround.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Thank you.
Vikram, I've just written a note because that was a further question that they had as a team. So we'll put a formal response and have a review on that. Okay, we've got another question in the chat, and I can see a few hand raises as well. We'll come back to those very shortly. So question is, I'm doing dashboards based on the value from user creating ticket from DWP. I want to make the dashboard based on the submitted date and receive notification email date. Where can I get the data or email notification date? Who would like to answer that from the team? Can anyone answer it?
I'll try. So yeah, basically, if like these details, right, whatever for DWP data that is stored into the ITSM database. So we just need to pick right column from the from these DWP forms where we have these date information stored. Maybe I'll just confirm what are these forms and then I will add it here. Right now, I don't know what exactly the form names are, the form and column name, but I'll just confirm and will let you know.
So just to add on what Ajinkya said, so in our out-of-the-box solution, there's a dashboard named Request Fulfillment Dashboard. It lists down various DWP forms, including tables and columns. Just check those tables and columns, and I'm sure you can find some references there. If not, we will definitely get back to you.
Just to follow up on that one, it'd be really, really interesting to understand how you guys find these values, because I've searched through a lot of the schemas on the BMC website, and it's a black hole. It's really hard to go, this is linked to that, and this is usually used for this, except where it's used for that. And then the CMDB stores the support team in a different form, and the incident and problem console have a support team in a different form. Ah!
Okay, let me answer that. We can share the entity relationship diagram for ITSM, which will make it easier for you to understand the underlying data model.
That'd be awesome.
Sure.
Okay, thank you for that. Carlo, back over to you. I saw you've put another question in the chat. What is the SQL dialect is used, and are there many iterations of SQL? Do you want to come off mute again?
Yeah. So yeah, there's many versions of SQL. So which dialect of SQL is actually used in Helix Dashboards?
Sumit, will you be able to answer this one?
Sorry, I think I missed it. Can you please come again?
What dialect of SQL is used for Grafana dashboards? Because I believe someone told me it's PostgreSQL, and then from the syntax it looked Microsoft, and then ChatGPT told me it's Teradata. So I'm getting three different answers here. it'll be nice because their syntaxes are quite different from one another.
Yeah,
So
let me take that. Yes, I think this is ARJDBC SQL language. So it is similar to our Microsoft SQL language, with addition of some codes on top of that, right? And that put in for the tables or the columns, which are a part of ITSM. So it is a similar kind of with the Microsoft SQL with addition of these codes. So which is called as the ARGDBC SQL language, basically.
okay.
Yeah.
And then is there any more? There's a documentation that lists the supported SQL functions. Is there any more plan to expand on the functions in there?
Yeah, maybe Nikhil, if you can.
Yeah. You mean SQL?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is used for interacting with ITSM and the overall innovation suite. This is, as you know, Helix ITSM has been around for a long time, more than 25 years. So over time, we do make improvements, but overall, it's a mature product. You will not see a lot of improvements or enhancements to SQL, to ARJDBC.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Another question, where do I add new views for Visual Query Builder? Not actually used this type form before is the response. It's from an anonymous. Nikhil, is that it?
Ajinkya?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So for Visual Query Builder, if you want to add any view, we have Reporting Metadata Studio is one Windows application which is available to download from Helix Dashboard console. Okay. So you can download this zip file from Helix Dashboard and configure it on some Windows server. Then you can connect to ITSM and create your own custom views in this tool. Right?
I think just to add on Ajinkya's response, we can download the Reporting Metadata Studio from the Helix Dashboard UI itself. Okay, so this is available in the administration area. You can go and download the Reporting Metadata Studio, and then perform your installation or the prerequisites, and then you can use the customized view where you can add your new joins and required tables or required fields.
Thank you,
And
Sumit.
then one more thing, you have to publish that view to the Helix dashboard so that it will be available in the list in the VQB.
And that goes both for the main visual builder, the view, and also in the variable visual builder?
Yes, if that particular view is published, you can use it in the panel query as well as in the variable query.
And can we edit the out-of-the-box ones? For example, we've gone multi-tenancy and they've reused the customer company as the tenancy, and our customer company is now our, what is it? Contact company. Contact company is not out of the box. To reduce people who don't know SQL and just want to use drag and drop, I want to take away customer company from the out of the box, and I want to add contact company, and I want to rename it to customer company.
So there is an option in the view. You can add data constraint in the view. If you add this condition, okay, this company filter in the view, then the data will be filtered at the view level. And depending on that, you will see the variable value or the panel data.
So to make these changes, do we need to be admins? Because we're not admins to the tool. We just use the tool. We just use Helix Dashboards. We're not admins to the actual BMC suite. So we don't have, Steve and I and Edie don't have access to the Reporting Metadata Studio. even though we need to have access to make these changes so we can do what we need to do.
Well, we don't know we haven't got access because we haven't installed it yet. I guess the question is, what permissions do you need to do these view adjustments?
Yep.
So yeah, to add view, at least you need admin and editor permission on Helix dashboard so that you can.
We've got that. Yay!
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
You probably shouldn't have told us because I'm not sure our tech team want us mixing it in the cuts
No,
of
they
the
probably
thing.
they probably don't. They probably don't.
Additionally, you also need access to the underlying data. So as long as you have adequate access within ITSM to access whatever you're trying to access, incidents, changes, CMDB, you need to have that permission in ITSM to be able to effectively build
we do.
in metadata
Yeah,
views.
we used to have that in smart reporting and it worked well because we built all our own views with all our own logic. Is the reporting metadata studio a replacement for the forms in Yellowfin? Sorry, not forms in Yellowfin, the views in Yellowfin, i.e. we did a lot of meta programming in there. We added a lot of variable processing before giving it to the customer, i.e. is this application protected? If it has this relationship, or this relationship, protection is yes.
Yes. Yeah. Visual Studio, Metadata Studio is meant for developing new views as per your custom requirements. You can extend out-of-box views. You can use out-of-box views for reference, edit it, make your changes, and save it a different name. You may not change and save it in the out-of-box, but you can create a copy and make a change. Yes, in the studio, you can develop new or modify existing one and save with your name that suits you and export or publish it to the dashboard. Studio is a tool and in which you develop view. So in dashboard also we refer this as a view, and that view can be published to the Helix dashboard. So it will be made available for end users to create new dashboards using that.
Cool, but you can't change the out-of-the-box ones?
Right, you cannot change out of box, but you can modify and save with a different name and publish it.
Cool, because we're just going to confuse our end users that don't understand. They're just going to pick the first incident one. And as I said before, we've gone to multi-tenancy. And to get multi-tenancy, they've reused our customer company to indicate the tenancy that's servicing the ticket. They've moved the customer company to the contact company. So if I have any of my guys want to report on where the customer is from, the customer's company, they have to use contact company. They're not expecting that customer company is not customer company.
So yeah, you can hide out-of-box views so that no one refer to those. Only administrator or the editor who is trying to create a new views using out-of-box can see that in the studio, and only publish those you want to give access for your end users. So
cool. So we'd have to rebuild 99% of it just to get the extra fields that are relevant to us.
Yeah. So
can you copy and edit?
Right. Yeah, you can do that for views.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your questions. We'll go back to Carlo. Carlo, there's another question from you. Export to Excel issues. When will these get addressed? Column type, cell coloring, and column width. I don't know, Nikhil, who can answer that?
Yeah, Carlo, can you elaborate on this a bit?
Yep. So if you have a table, any table at all, if you export it to Excel, not CSV, not PDF, it does not inherit any formatting at all. So you can try it if you want, but if you have a let's say, font color, background color on the table. You can see it just fine in dashboards or Grafana, but if you export it as Excel, it doesn't inherit it. That's a smart reporting feature that we've had, and I believe this is a known issue for a while now.
Yes, so export to Excel, we have already addressed a few of these. We will continue to address these needs in the future as well, so that what you see on a dashboard should be exported to the report that you export to Excel. These are some of the roadmap items we have.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo.
So what does that mean? I'm reading your question, Carlo. Column type, what does that mean? Column type.
Column type is, yeah, so the column type, so in SQL, right? So each column is given it determines if it's an integer, if it's a number, if it's a
Data
time
type.
or date. Yep, it's a data type. Yeah, there you go. But if it's exported as an Excel, CSV obviously doesn't have that function, only Excel. Everything's just plain text. So if it's a number, an integer, or a date, when it gets exported and then you open it to Excel, the metadata is basically just, the data type is just all plain text. And you have to convert it to format options and then convert it accordingly.
This item is already addressed, Carlo. So we can use, this column type item is already addressed. We can now get the specific data type based on whatever the data type that column has, whether it is a date field or number field. We just need to use a specific override options. If there is a number field, then you can use the override number for that. And if it is a date field, then we need to use that override date field override. And then there is the addition. Yeah.
I was just trying it this morning. Maybe you can elaborate are you talking about the override function on the left, on the right rather?
Yes, it's in the right side, override option. You just need to use override with unit as number or unit as date, right? And then we just need to add one more variable. I'll put it in the chat window, what needs to be used as a variable, which with the combination of override and that variable, you will be able to get the required column type, which is there in Helix dashboard.
Okay, duly noted. All right, I'll give that a go and I'll wait for your response. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. We also had 2 questions that I think are quite important to bring to the table that came prior on one of our community posts. One of them was, how can you link multiple dashboards together in BMC Helix Dashboards? That might be a question, Ipti, that you can answer. Can you hear us, Ipti?
Yes, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, so linking dashboards would be a great way to go from a higher level view into a detailed view. Also, it's a great way to move from one dashboard to another without actually, going back to the menu or searching for a specific dashboard. So there are several options to do that. One option is through in the dashboard itself, at the top, in the dashboard settings, there's a links option. You can use that to go to any specific dashboard that you think would be useful as a next step or would give more information to the dashboard you're currently in. Keep in mind that you can use, if your dashboard has already certain filters, you can pass those filters to the second dashboard in case they have it, that dashboard has it. So you can use the general linking of the entire dashboard. And then on a panel level, if you want to go to use a specific name, let's say a service or a form name, for example, on a panel level, you can use the data links and then Another option would use the override option that was mentioned earlier, and there you can use a specific column to drill down to your next dashboard. You can also again pass those variables through to the next dashboard, so the next view will be also in context to the column that you chose. That is very helpful. Also internally, we use it a lot because a lot of dashboards, you will start in an overview, and then you would want to see the details behind the dashboard that you're looking at. And that would be a great way to do that transition. Thank you.
Thank you for a really in-depth response. Hopefully that's helpful. I know that's a question that we'd seen on the community. Appreciated. Okay.
Just a suggestion on that one. Sorry
yeah,
to interrupt,
yeah,
Steve.
go for it.
One of the things we discovered 6 months ago, we beat our head against the wall for 6 months trying to learn the tool because it was new and we didn't know SQL and we're coming from Yellowfin, which hides all the complexity. What we were doing for very complicated multi-graph reports was migrating the SQL and then copying that SQL into multiple graphs. And then you'd have to cut down the SQL just to get the thing that you wanted to draw the graph, because it was really hard to pick the thing and get it to do what you want. There was too many things. So we spent a lot of time duplicating SQL and then editing for brevity and then drawing a graph. So we ended up with dashboards that had 20 database calls, and it was really time consuming. There was a seminar in North America, probably a year ago now, where at the end of probably an hour or an hour and 10 minutes, he said, oh, by the way, if you don't want to slow it down like Yellowfin used to slow down, build one table and then all the graphs use the table as the source. And so the table's got all the data fields. The graph says, hide all the ones except the ones I want to draw. And then you copy it again, hide all the ones that you don't. And so you have a customer view, you have a support team view, you have a timeline view, and it all comes off the one table. That was probably one of the most important suggestions that got us going from a 3-day build of a dashboard to about an hour build of polish.
Okay. Let's move on.
I was going to say we'll share that as well. Thank you, Steve. It might be that I'll ask you to just reply back to that question when I put it into the Q&A after this event. Very helpful. Okay. So we had another question that came before this event. I just want to pass that and we'll go back to the Q&A that we've got live here. There was also a question, how is BMC addressing the parity between smart reporting and Helix dashboards? Because I know, Nikhil, there was a lot of customers, there was always the fear when we went from business objects to smart reporting and now it's smart reporting to dashboards. I think we had this also come up in our last Ask the Experts, and Vikram, you answered that question. I don't know if you can just maybe summarize.
Yes, sure. Yeah, this is very common question. All the customers coming and generally migrating from smart reporting to Helix dashboard. So when we are selecting tool for Helix dashboard, reporting tool, so it is not only meant for migrating or getting another reporting tool here. The intention is more strategic and choose that is more suitable for very advanced data processing. So you can see smart reporting is using Yellowfin or similar to that, business objects or other reporting tools. They are not very architecturally viable for merging data or playing with the data, massaging in when data is coming from various different database type. So mostly smart reporting is used only for getting data from RDBMS, whereas in Helix dashboard or Grafana, he has the capability to pull data from RDBMS, time series data, the documents, Elasticsearch, or Discovery, Smart Graph. So all of that data you can bring seamless. And we really have a powerful transformation capability. Once you retrieve data from multiple sources, you can use transformation to merge this data, map data with another, slice and dice, and then you can generate data that you want to present. So these are some of the more advanced capabilities which adds a lot of value for your stored data. So when we are choosing the reporting tool, it is more strategic. Next generation of reporting tool, that is what is chosen. It has some parity gaps like formatting capabilities or how we present in the PDF and Excel, but we are aggressively adding those capabilities, but those are easier one. But architecturally, if you see, it is more advanced and next generation of dashboarding capability or data analytics you can add. That is how the Grafana or dashboard is helping. So I think and a lot of questions here about the data type when we export to Excel, or data formatting when we export to PDF, or many of these capabilities we have added in the recent releases, that is 24.3, and now coming up with 24.4, where many of the formatting related questions or formatting related concerns were addressed in 24.4. So that, I think, addresses mass of those concerns there in the formatting. So that
Fantastic.
helps to get all the types of reports from smart reporting to Helix Dashboard.
Great. Thank you. Hopefully that's answered maybe some questions on people's minds. Conscious that we've only got 5 or so minutes left. We've had a flurry of questions in there, so I'm going to just leave the team to answer some of those questions, especially for those that have already asked ones live. I'm just going to come over to a hand raise. Avi, if you want to come off mute and ask your question.
Yeah, actually here is good is morning, so good morning to everyone. I would like to ask, do you have on your roadmap maybe to have charts, recommended charts based on the data we connected or defined as variables in the Grafana dashboard? I guess it will be helpful since sometime, let's say it's multi-dashboard. It's actually a joint query of BWF Word and Smart. So it's something like a management dashboard for all the LOBs the product has. So I would like you to refer to that.
Yeah, I think this option is already available in Helix Dashboard, where you will get an option to, which specific chart or visualization is more suitable for your data, right? So whenever you are creating a new dashboard or a new panel, you will see that option is coming up when you choose a specific chart. There is already an option to also view the recommendations based on whatever the data we have in your dashboard or the
No,
panel.
I'm talking about something related to AI. Let's look at entire dashboard and not a specific chart. I'm familiar with the option for a specific chart, but if I'm looking at, for example, on Power BI, which is equivalent product, today they are offering some kind of option like this. Again, I would like to get your knowledge and your expertise in creating the knowledge based on the data. So it's like best practice dashboard out of the box related the data. So, for example, you are going just to select the data you would like to present, and then it will recommend you an entire dashboard.
Okay, let me answer that. We are considering including generative AI capabilities in dashboards. However, at this time, I cannot offer any details, but this is certainly something we will address when we launch our Gen AI capabilities in dashboards. As I said, I cannot offer any details at this time, but one common use case is to allow the system to recommend what's the right way of visualizing the data that's being returned, that is being requested.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Last question before we go. Really quick one. Do you
it.
guys support Grafana plugins? I'd really like to plug in our Google Sheets into this so we can have multi-data sets and combine them. Tech team said no. They raised it with support. Support said no. Do you guys in principle support it?
This is a roadmap item. At this time, we cannot, but for security reasons, but we need to make a few architectural changes to how we deploy dashboards. Once that is done, you will be able to connect to external data sources and use any Grafana plugins to connect to any external systems, whether it's Google Sheets, as you mentioned, or Oracle database, or an external Postgres database. It requires some changes on our side so that you can make that connection securely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'm going to take one more question. I can see, Ajinka, you're answering it. Conscious Yogi put this in quite some time ago. So Yogi, if you want to come off mute, I saw your question was, in what menu can I find a way to set which data can be displayed to other users within the dashboard? Ajinka, do you want to answer that as well? And Yogi, if you want to come off.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I was just typing about it. So a role-based access control or the data level access is managed by the application, not in the Helix dashboard. So Helix dashboard has all the permissions related to the dashboard, like who can see what dashboard, and so on. But if your question is related to data, right? So that you need to handle on the server side, not on the dashboard side. So event and metric related permission you can configure in BMC Helix operational management application. ITSM related role level access you can configure in the ITSM.
Yogi, can you hear us? I don't know if you want to come off mute.
Okay, thank you. I got it. I want to ask a little bit. Can we connect the data from manage engine to the BMC Helix dashboard?
I just answered this. At the moment, no, but once we open up, once we allow you to connect to external data sources, if there's a Grafana plugin available for you to connect to your external source, whether it's Manage Engine or whatever, then you will be able to connect, but not at this time.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogi. Actually, Nikhil, final question, because we're 2 minutes over, and we'll thank everyone. The question was from Carlo again. When can we expect an update on the third-party visualization panels like calendar and dynamic text?
Okay, there isn't sufficient detail in that question. If you can tell us what specifically you want.
Just to elaborate. So there has so those two visualization plugins, Calendar and Dynamic Text, it's a third party from Volcov Labs, but it has been updated on many iterations in version 10.4. So basically what we have in Helix Dashboards right now, it's a version 9 version of those panels, if that makes sense.
Okay, we'll review it. When we review our next upgrade, we will certainly review the versions of these plugins that we're using. Calendar, for example, is a community plugin. So yes, so we will evaluate which version of the plugin we should use.
And when are we expecting the next version update?
Roughly,
of dashboards.
Roughly the next 6 to 9 months.
Okay. That'll be 24.4 or the 25?
No, 24.4 will be out in another 1 month, but this will be longer.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. I know there was one or two more that we need to get answered, so we will send out the responses when we send the Q&A out. Thank you to our panelists and hosts today. Hopefully you've all found it useful, and I'm thinking, Nikhil, every time we do these sessions lots of questions come out, so we'll probably look to do this in maybe 3 months or so. If anybody has any questions or they want to get connected to the team, there is a short survey that will come out with the thank you email. We'll share everything that we've put out today, and just as a recap, if you're still looking for dashboards assistance, you're still going through the migration, October the 17th, we have another workshop. There's loads of recordings on them. We've been running them for the last 9 or so months. There'll be another few more until we go end of life next year. And if there is any other content that you would feel would be beneficial for a webinar, then feel free to reach out to me and I will connect with this team.